Is it audible, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we have completed the first unit. So we have finished collection related data types. We have completed collection related data types. We have completed what? The first unit, first module. So now we were discussing about the second unit. As part of second unit, we discussed about command line arguments. So this command line arguments is what? It is one approach using which we can read the inputs from the command line. Okay. So by using input, we have read the inputs. By using command line arguments, we have read the input. So by using input function, we can read inputs. By using command line arguments also, we can read the inputs. It's one way, one approach using which we can read the values from the end user dynamically. That means from the command line prompt. So if you are working with the CUI based sort of environment, so in CUI sort of environment, how we are reading the values with the help of command line arguments. So from the command line itself, so if you want to read the values, so if you want to read the inputs, what's the concept used by the programmer? Use command line arguments, whether it is C or Java or C#.NET or Python. So concept is command line arguments. So for reading input from the command line, so command line arguments. So it is one approach. So we will see other concepts which we can see in input statements. Is it audible, guys? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you seeing the notepad? Are you able to see the notepad or not?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Is it visible now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So concept is regarding input output statements. So in input output statements, so we have completed the topic of command line arguments. So command line arguments is one topic of second unit, guys. We have completed command line arguments. Okay. So we have discussed a few built-in functions of Python programming language. Okay. Let us consider the following example, guys. So here I'm writing x equal to input, x equal to input of enter values. Here I'm writing like this. Here I'm writing this kind of message, enter values and print of X. Okay. So I'm writing this kind of code in the ID. Go to code window. Are you seeing that title window?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So here I will write the logic. So enter X equal to input of enter values. So with the help of input, what we are reading, guys? We are reading
Values.
line of input in the form of what?
String.
String data type. It is read in the form of string. The whole line of thing is considered as input. So it is considered in the form of string. It is stored in the form of string. Okay. So X equal to input of enter values, print of X. So with the help of this particular X, with the help of this particular statement, can I read multiple number of values? With this, it is possible, guys. You run the program. You save the program as input example1. Okay. Save as, store it into the consent path. So here I'm storing into Python folder, Python CSCB. Here I'm giving the name as input example1.py. Okay. Example1.py, and I'm executing the program. Now you see what happened. Sorry, seeing the shell?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
What it is asking for? It is asking for the values. Okay. So I'm giving space 20. Now, how many values are considered here? With input, what it does? It treats this whole line of input as what? A string. Now, can I consider this 10 as one value and 20 as one value?
No, sir.
No. So press enter. See here what it has shown. X is having in space 20. Now, on basis of this, what we can conclude? The whole line of input is considered as a single value which is stored in the form of string, or based upon spaces. Based upon spaces, it separates the things, and 10 is considered as one value and 20 is considered as one value. Does it happens?
No, sir.
No. This whole line of thing which is mentioned, so which is accepted by the input function, this whole thing is considered as one value which is stored in the form of string. But my requirement is it has to separate this whole line of code, this whole line of value on basis of what? Space. So on basis of space, these values has to be separated individually. This 10 has to be treated as one value, 20 has to be treated as one value. I need that kind of thing. So that is my requirement. So with the help of input, if I want to do that, how can I achieve? So that's my requirement. Are you understanding? So when you are using input function, when the input function is executed, what happens? This whole line of thing is considered as the one value which is stored in the form of string. But here my requirement is on basis of spaces. On basis of space, this whole line of information has to be converted into multiple number of values. So if you consider this whole line of information, so when I'm dividing into the multiple number of values on basis of space, so if it has to be done, so what we have to do in order to divide it into multiple number of values? So that is my requirement. So how it can be achieved? Are you understanding my requirement? Hello?
Yes.
See here. So when I'm using input function, this whole line of information is considered as the input, and it is stored in the form of what? String format. But my intention is this particular whole line of information, has divided into multiple number of values. So that particular division has to be done based upon what? Based upon spaces. Okay, so this is the whole line of information, so which is stored in the form of string, but I want to divide it into multiple number of values based upon what? Based upon the space. Space is the separator. Now based upon space, here I will get how many number of values? Please respond, guys.
4.
4.
2 values.
Only 2 values. Enter values is what? It is the message given from the print message. Okay. So this is the whole line of information starting from 10 to the remaining part. This whole line is considered as the input, which is stored in the form of string. So it has to be separated by what? Spaces. So when I'm doing that division based upon spaces, so how many values we are going to get? Please respond, guys. So starting from this point to the line, to whole line. So up to the point when I'm giving when I'm pressing enter, so that point I'm going to consider starting from this particular character to what? Pressing enter button. So that whole line is considered as what? It is considered as the input, which is stored in the form of string, right? So I want to divide the whole line of information, so which is stored in the form of string, into multiple values. It has to be done based upon spaces. So that is my requirement. So when I'm doing according to spaces, how many values will be obtained?
2.
2 values. So first value in the form of
10.
10, second value in the form of
20.
20. So in order to meet this kind of requirement, we people are provided with a method called as split. What's the method name, guys?
Split.
Split method. So the split method can be used over the string sort of data type. So in which particular data type we can use split method, guys?
String data.
String data type. Okay, so I will use split method. So go to the code, guys. So here I am writing dot split. Okay, dot split. So when I'm writing like this, what happens? So this particular input function will be executed. So first of all, it executes the input function. So when it executes input function, that whole line of information is read as an input. It is stored in the form of the string. So there I have given 10 space 20, right? So it is divided into multiple number of values according to which separator, guys? Space separator. So by using space, it has to separate the whole string into multiple values. So 10 space 20 is the information. It is the input available on this particular string. You have to separate into multiple number of strings. So it is done based upon what? Spaces. So 10 space 20. So I will get 10 as one value, 20 as one value. So which is returned in the form of list. So when split method is executed, so which object is returned by split method?
List.
List object is returned. So what does list consist of?
The split values of the string.
The split values of the string will be available as the elements of the list object. Okay. Now, when I'm displaying the type of this X object, okay, what it will show?
List.
List. So if you are having doubts, you can see. Okay. I'm saving the program, guys. Input example. Not view. Okay. Input example dot run the program. See here what it is asking for.
Enter values.
Now I'm giving 10 space 20. What happened here? This 10 comma this 10 20 10 space 20, this whole line of information is considered as the input. It is stored in the form of string. When it is executing split method, what happens? So the split method is worked over the string object, right? String having 10 space 20. So the split will do what? It will divide the values on basis of what? Space. So 10 is considered as one value, 20 is considered as one value. So okay, so the first element will become 10. So the moment when space is available in the string, so it divides into another value. Up to what extent? Again space. So when space arrives, so space beginning to 22, from 2 to 0 is considered as what? 2 to 0 is considered as one element. So totally 2 elements are placed into the list, and that list will be written by that split method. So see here what it is showing. The data type of X. What's the data type of X?
List.
list. Suppose if I am showing the content of X, what it will show? Go to the code window. So here I am writing content of X. What it shows? What it shows? Elements of the list will be displayed or not?
Yes, sir.
So save the code and run the program. I'm executing the program. So what it is asking for? Values. So 10 space 20 space 30. Now, on what basis of on what basis it is separating the values?
Space.
Space. See here, what it is showing. So X has become. What's the data type of X?
List.
List. So when it executes split method, what happened here? The string is dividing into multiple number of values on basis of what? Space. So it is dividing the whole string into multiple number of values based upon separator called as space. So space, by considering space, it is dividing the whole line of information into multiple number of values and they are stored into the list object. So when split method is called, what it is returning? It is returning the list object. So it is containing multiple number of values. So dividing the whole string into multiple number of values. So dividing into the items basis of what? Space separator. Okay. So when I'm trying to display the content of X, see here what it is showing. What it is showing? Please respond, guys. What it is showing? These elements. So which is divided in. These elements are stored in the form of string or not? Please see here. See the data items. So these data items are represented in single quote. So when the data is represented in single quotes, it is recognized as what? Data is recognized
String.
as what? String type. So 10, 20, 30. So these are what? String type elements. On these elements, if I want to perform addition operation. On these elements, if I want to perform addition operation. Okay. So can I perform addition operation upon these values, guys?
No, sir.
Can I perform?
No, sir.
No, it is not possible directly. So what we have to do?
Typecast them into integers.
Typecasting has to be done. Now for this, we have to write the logic. Go to the code, guys. Go to the code. And what I have to do? Perform addition operation upon this particular list of elements. Is it clear? So for
Yes,
this,
sir.
I can write. So I will take some variable. Okay. Sum is initialized to 0. Then I'm taking for loop for I in X. For I in X. Then I can write sum equal to what? Sum plus. Anyone respond? What I have to specify?
Int of x of I.
Int of
X of I.
x of I. We don't need x of I, guys. Simply I can mention I. Because
Oh,
when
yeah,
I'm
right.
executing the loop here,
Yeah.
what happens? When the loop is executed for the first time, you tell me how many number of elements are part of this list?
3.
3 elements are available. When the loop is getting executed for the first time, so what is I assigned with?
0.
0. 0.
Like the first value of x, which is that.
Okay.
The first item which is available in the X will be assigned to
I.
I variable. And then executes the logic.
Yes.
So see here, run the program, save as input example 3.py. Okay, the program, guys. So it is asking for the values. Okay, so here I'm giving 10, 20, 30. Class list. Why it has not shown? So why it is not showing the sum? Please respond.
We didn't print it, sir.
Print off. So what it shows? Please respond. and the program. It's asking for the values. I'm giving 10, 20, 30. What it shows, guys? What will be the result? 10 plus 20 plus 30. Hello. 10 plus 20 plus 30 is what?
16.
60. Is it the output which I'm expecting from the program execution? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Is it clear, guys? What happens with
Yes,
split
sir.
method? So split will do what? It divides the whole string into multiple values on basis of what? Space. Let us suppose if I am reading a string, that string is having multiple number of words separated by spaces. Multiple number of words separated by spaces. If it is there means if I want to divide it into multiple number of values based upon spaces, so you can do it by using the help of what? Split function. So I am using split function over the string data type. So where I'm using split function over the string data type. So input function is storing in the form of string or not. On that string object, I'm applying the split function. So when I'm applying split function, what happened there? That total string is divided into multiple number of values. So those values are kept in the list object, and that list object is returned to the user. So when it executes what? When program is executing the split method over the string object. So string is one kind of object or not? So when you execute split method over the string object, what happens internally? Okay, that string object is divided into multiple number of values, and those values are kept into the list, and that list is returned by the split function when split function is executed over the string object. Is the point clear? Please respond, guys.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So split function, we are executing the split function upon the string object. Okay. So on basis of space, it is dividing the total string into multiple number of values. Even those values are stored in the form of string again. Okay. So if you consider the data items of the list which is written by this particular split method, right? Those elements data type, if you consider, so if you consider the data type of these particular elements which are stored in the list which is written by the split method, again they are of which type? They are of string type. Okay. So elements which are part of the list which is written by the split method, so it's considered as what type? String data type. So we have already seen in the example, isn't it? See here, 10, 20, 30. So this total line of input is considered as a string. It is divided into individual number of elements, individual values, and they are kept into the string. They are kept into the list object, and list object is written, right? So here this is the list object. So individually, this 10 is stored in the form of string, 20 is stored in the form of string, 30 is also stored in the form of the string. But these are individual values, individual data items. So this total thing is considered as a string object. Divided into what? Multiple number of values stored into the list. It is done with the help of split method. Is the point clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Are you understanding?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So with the help of list, so what I'm doing? I'm reading individual value. So separated based upon what? Space. Is the point clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we will continue the session in the next session. So tomorrow at which time? First hour or second hour? డౌట్ ఏమన్నా ఉంటే అడగండి అమ్మా. టాపిక్ క్లియర్ అమ్మా? స్ప్లిట్ మెథడ్ గురించి డిస్కస్ చేశాను ఇప్పుడు.
Yes, sir. Clear, sir.
అర్థమవుతుందా అమ్మా? అర్థం కాకపోతే నిర్మోహమాటంగా అడగండి అమ్మా. డౌట్స్ ని దాచిపెట్టుకోమాకండి. స్ప్లిట్ అనే మెథడ్ పర్పస్ ఏంటి? సో స్ప్లిట్ అనే మెథడ్ నేను దేని మీద యూజ్ చేస్తున్నాను? స్ట్రింగ్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ మీద యూజ్ చేస్తున్నాను. సో స్ట్రింగ్ గనక మల్టిపుల్ వర్డ్స్ ఉన్నట్టయితే, ఆ మల్టిపుల్ వర్డ్స్ అంటున్నారు, ఆ మల్టిపుల్ వర్డ్స్ ని ఎలా రికగ్నైజ్ చేస్తున్నారు? స్పేస్ ద్వారా రికగ్నైజ్ చేస్తున్నారు. స్పేస్ ద్వారా ఆ వర్డ్స్ ని, ఒక్కొక్క వర్డ్ ని ఒక ఇండివిజువల్ వాల్యూ కిందకి తీసుకోవాలి అనుకున్నప్పుడు ఏం చేయాలి? సో స్ప్లిట్ అనే మెథడ్ యూజ్ చేయాలి. సో స్ట్రింగ్ కనుక తీసుకున్నట్టయితే అందులో మల్టిపుల్ వర్డ్స్ ఉన్నట్టయితే ఆ మల్టిపుల్ వర్డ్స్ ని వర్డ్స్ కిందకి డివైడ్ చేయాలి. దేని బేస్ చేసుకొని? స్పేస్ చేసుకొని. సో స్పేస్ యూజ్ చేసుకొని డివైడ్ చేయాలనుకున్నప్పుడు ఏం చేయాలి? స్ప్లిట్ అనే మెథడ్ యూజ్ చేయాలి. సో స్ప్లిట్ ఈస్ యూజ్డ్ ఓవర్ ద స్ట్రింగ్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్. సో 10, 20, 30. So this total whole line of information is considered as the string object. So if it has to be divided into multiple number of values according to the spaces, you can use split method. So by using split method, so here I'm dividing this whole line of information into 3 values. So here I'm having spaces, here I'm having space. So this 10 is considered as one value. So 20 is considered as one value. So again space is there. So 30 is considered as another value. So again space is there. So 10, 20, 30 are becoming 3 values. Okay. So they are stored into the list object in the form of what? Strings again. So this 10 is considered as one string value. 20 is considered as one string value. 30 is considered as one string value. So these are the items which are part of the list object, which is written by the split. So this is something about split method. Split is used over the string object, guys. So are you understanding?
Yes,
So
sir.
split is one kind of built-in function available in the Python programming language. We are in second unit, guys. Second unit, built-in functions. We were discussing about the built-in functions. Okay. So this split method is used over which concept, guys? String concept. సో స్ట్రింగ్స్ మీద నేను వర్క్ చేస్తున్నాను. స్ప్లిట్ అనే మెథడ్. స్ప్లిట్ అనే మెథడ్ యూజ్ చేసినట్టయితే అది ఏం రిటర్న్ చేస్తుంది? ఇట్ ఈస్ రిటర్నింగ్ ఎ లిస్ట్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్. వాట్ ఇట్ ఈస్ రిటర్నింగ్? Split is returning what? List object. Okay. అర్థమవుతుందా అమ్మా టాపిక్స్? రెస్పాన్స్ ఇవ్వండి అమ్మా ప్లీజ్. Everyone, are you following or not?
Yes, sir.
Please respond, guys. ఓకే అమ్మా, నెక్స్ట్ సెషన్ లో కలుద్దాం అమ్మా. ఆఫ్టర్నూన్ సెషన్ క్లాస్ లేదమ్మా. మార్నింగ్ సెషన్ నేను క్లాస్ తీసుకున్నాను కాబట్టి ఆఫ్టర్నూన్ సెషన్ నేను కండక్ట్ చేయట్లేదు. సో ఇవాళ మీకు ఆఫ్టర్నూన్ సెషన్, మీకు ఎక్స్ట్రా సెషన్ లేదమ్మా. ఆల్రెడీ ఇవాళ ఎక్స్ట్రా సెషన్ తీసుకున్నాను. సో మళ్ళీ ఆఫ్టర్నూన్ ఏం కండక్ట్ చేయట్లేదు. రేపు మాత్రం సెషన్ ఉంటుంది. అందరూ క్లాసెస్ అటెంప్ట్ చేయండి, రెగ్యులర్ గా రండి, క్లాసెస్ ప్రాపర్ గా వినండి, ప్రాపర్ గా ప్రాక్టీస్ చేయండి. అర్థం కాకపోతే అడగండి అమ్మా. డౌట్స్ ఉంటే మాత్రం దాచిపెట్టుకోమాకండి. టాపిక్స్ క్లియర్ గా ఉన్నాయా లేవా అని అడుగుతున్నానమ్మా. ఆర్ యూ ఫాలోయింగ్ ఆర్ నాట్? Please respond,
Yes.
guys.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then see you in the next session.